Hey friends, this is Sketchdirt and I'm Marla, and today we're going to be drawing 3D letters, A, B, C, and D. We're going to be going through all the letters in this series, but it's easier to do 4 at a time, and so here we go. I am using a 2B pencil, and I've sectioned my piece of paper off into 4 2.5 by 3-inch squares. So I'm using an 11 by 14-inch paper. And I'm basically starting by just drawing the letters with single lines, just straight single lines, so that way I can understand how much space each letter is going to take up, and it's going to help be a guide for drawing the full letters. And keep in mind, these are hand-drawn letters. I could be using a ruler to help make the lines more perfect, but that's what I want the letters to look really hand-drawn and be a little bit imperfect. If we wanted perfect letters, we'd be doing it on the computer. So now I'm going to pick up my letter A, and I'm just going to start drawing the shape. I did want to draw letters with serifs, and serifs are the little pieces on the ends of the letters. Fonts like Times Roman have serifs, and I think this just gives character to these letters, and I think that there are a lot of really good videos already that show straight letters. You can definitely kind of apply, you can make these letters straight, just sans serif if you'd like, but for this video we're gonna draw the extra serifs for a bit of character on the letters. And basically when I draw these, it's gonna look really messy, and just be okay with that when you're drawing. You just get a feel for how you want your letters to feel on the page, and don't worry about them being messy, because we're going to take care of that soon enough. And now I'm going for the B, and I'm just penciling that in. And since we've already got kind of a framework, it's much easier to kind of feel out how the letters fill the space, and where you need to draw the shapes. And I'm grabbing a C now. This is a little tougher because it's a circle, and that serif at the top of the C is a little bit tough, but this is why when you're drawing you just feel it out. You just kind of like put in as many strokes as you need, because we're going to clean it up later on, and you don't worry about how it's working out now. Now I'm grabbing the D. All right, so now I have everything penciled in. I'm taking a look at everything, and now I'm going to start erasing the lines. I did not want to put a large portion of just me erasing in this video, but I also think it helps you kind of see the process and see how I get to the end point. So I did leave that in here, but then I've also sped it up so that you don't have to sit through all of it. With this letter A, as you can see, I'm erasing the lines, but I'm also erasing about half of the A. I'm erasing a good portion of it, and it's because when I drew those lines, I knew how I wanted it to look, and basically now I'm just going to take my pencil and kind of fill in those lines where I want them to be. And that's why when you're doing this, you don't like put too much pressure on getting it perfect the first time. First of all, you're practicing, and then also you have the chance to erase. You have the chance to start all over. So that's what your eraser's for. So I'm going to sit here and do this with the rest of the letters, and do the same thing in terms of like just kind of erasing the parts that I wanted to kind of refill in. All right, now I'm dusting everything off, getting it set. And now for the 3D part. If you have some tissue paper handy, here's a little trick you can do. You can take your tissue paper and draw your letter that you've already drawn out. Just trace it. And then you take that letter on the tissue paper and you shift it down to where you want it, to where you want the 3D portion of it, the edges. And then you draw that in again. You draw in those portions to give it that 3D effect. Where that's just a little trick to help you out. It can be really difficult to figure out how to make that 3D shape, and this is a really helpful tip. This is a really helpful quick tip. For us, we're not going to do that today. We're not going to do that for the whole series. We're going to do it by hand so that you can see how kind of messy it is and how you just want to feel it out to give it the look that you want. And again, just because I've already drawn the letters the first time doesn't mean that this second 3D portion, these edges, doesn't still get a bit messy. And again, you just leave that. You just go with it. You feel out where you want that 3D edge to be. And don't worry about how clean the lines look, because we're going to go back and we're going to clean that up with shading. And keep in mind, this, you can do this in, you don't have to just do it in chalk, you can, or pencil, you can do it in chalk, you can do it in colored pencil, you can do it in paints. There's a lot of different mediums that you can use to draw this. And now I'm shading in the edges and to give it that 3D dimensional effect. And when you do this, this is the time, instead of erasing to clean up the edges, this time we're using the shading and we're emphasizing the lines. You're emphasizing the lines that you do want to use to create the shape, and that's what's going to clean up the edges. And then also that's what's going to keep that kind of imperfect, hand-drawn look. And this is what's so great about pencil and paper. This is one thing that computer will never really be able to replicate. As good as computers are, like, this hand-drawn expressive look is really unique to using a pencil and paper. And also, this is, you can put your own individual expressiveness into this, and that's what's also really great. If you don't like it, you can erase it or get a new piece of paper. And that's how you draw three-dimensional letters. This is A, B, C, and D. We're going to go through the whole series, and I'm really, really excited about this because it's going to lead to a lot more tutorials on typography, which is one of my favorite things. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sketch Dirt, and I'm Marla.